I need to ask you this question from the man himself. Cal, there's a lot of stories out there, so I need the real one from you. Your nickname, the Big Dumper, given by I think Jared Kelnick.
Yep.
How did it come about? What's the story?
So, I got called up in 21, and I think the Mariners posted a picture of me, a call up or something, and Kellenick tweeted, had like a retweet or something, and big said big dumper to the show. And the funny thing is, I don't even know if he'd ever, maybe he called me big dumper a few times, but he'd always made jokes about my butt and how big it was, and in the minors because we came up together as
Yeah.
well. And he tweeted that out, and I think people didn't even know how to respond to that at first. And 21, there was that I was obviously didn't play very well, and kind of up and down, and so it didn't really catch on until the middle of last year. And I think when I started playing well, and
Mhm.
my name got out there, and people saw how ridiculous that name was, they kind of hopped on with it.
Are you in the works for a nickname for Kelnick? Now he's playing well. He seems to be the prospect that everybody wanted. It's your turn, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I can come up with something as absurd as he did, but he uh, he definitely he has to take credit for that one. He started that. It was funny.
So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about Julio Rodriguez and obviously becoming a superstar in front of our eyes. But do you remember the first time watching him play, whether it be in spring training or the first time you're on a team with him? Like, did he set himself apart when just on like the backfields in Arizona? Can you watch him and be like, this guy's a superstar?
Yeah, so obviously, I think my first encounter with Julio was in 2018. I had just gotten drafted. I want to say he was a year removed from signing, and we were at a strength camp together in AZ in the fall. And just his personality was so big. I was a lot more, obviously quiet and
Mm-hmm.
more reserved back then. So just kind of observing from the side, and you know, obviously hearing how good he was. And we weren't doing any baseball activity, but you could just kind of tell the personality was there, and how everybody kind of flocked to him. And it was super special. And then obviously fast forward to last spring training, and him just going off and doing what he's doing, and how special it was. And but really it was last year during the season, how calm he was. And it's easy when you first get to the big leagues and you don't have success right away, which he didn't. I mean, those first couple games weren't,
Yeah.
first few weeks were tough for him that month. And it's easy to get down on yourself, start questioning, am I good enough here? And he never did that. He stayed same guy the whole time, same kind of line. And it was really impressive to watch. And the fact that he didn't panic, he didn't start worrying. He was still the same guy. And I think that's kind of what being a true pro is like, and that's definitely what he is.
You mentioned his personality, and I've said this a couple times now, but I feel like Julio Rodriguez is the perfect face for the game of baseball, and I hope he can become that. He's a guy that in multiple languages is as charismatic in both and fluent in English and Spanish and super outgoing and obviously the freak talent on the field. I mean, would you agree with that? I feel like Julio is the perfect face that the game of baseball needs.
Yeah, I mean, Julio is unbelievable, and it's not just the talent. I mean, I know that's what everybody sees every day. The home runs, stolen bases, the plays in the outfield, but it's like you said, the personality. It's what he does away from the field. How serious he is about his routine, his workouts, whether it's in the training room, doing what he needs to do. He's super serious about that, and sometimes that can kind of get thrown to the side, but he's about as professional as it comes. And he's a true stud in this game, and he's going to be for a long time. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's the face of baseball for a while.
What's the most impressive thing you've ever seen him do, either on the field or weight room or off the field?
I don't know. There's some times last year where like I don't know. He would take some crazy pitch off the plate, take it the other way, and then I don't know. there was some things that kind of stuck out, and just some home runs he hit off some guys. I think he hit a ball off, uh, I guess your brother Verlander the other way to lead off a game, and it was just like at the time I couldn't figure out how to even square him up, and I was struggling, and he takes one the other way and puts it like I don't know 10, 15 rows deep. I'm like, damn, that's impressive. I don't know. And for him to be like, I mean, he just started, and like to do that was
Yeah.
impressive. And yeah.
What do you think is the ceiling for a guy like that? Like when all is said and done, what are we when we talk about Julio Rodriguez? What are we saying about him?
I mean, you can't predict the future, but if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the way he prepares, how confident he is, how much of a pro he is, and then obviously throw in the talent that's real. And he wants to keep getting better. That's the thing with him is he doesn't want to settle. He wants to keep going. He wants to be one of the best players in this game, and he wants to win too. That's a big thing.
yeah.
We don't like losing around here, and he's definitely very adamant about that, and he wants to win, and he's a lot of fun to watch.